I didn't say a word when the sheriff showed up, glanced over my shoulder at the rolling vineyard rows, and slowly unfolded the deed I handed him. The bulldozers were already idling, engines humming, men ready to tear up my land. But the moment the deputy saw my paperwork, his face changed. It was a quiet victory, but one that took years to build and a lifetime of patience. Before all this mess, I had a simple dream. I wanted to restore my grandfather's vineyard, a small patch of earth tucked away on the outskirts of town, where the air smelled like wild herbs and the sun warmed the soil just right. My wife and I would spend evenings sipping homemade wine on the porch, listening to the soft rustle of leaves. Then came the first sign that the HOA saw me as a problem. They sent a letter claiming my rows of grapevines violated some vague landscaping rule. When I ignored their notice, thinking it was a clerical error or an overreach, they escalated quickly. The HOA president declared my vineyard an unauthorized commercial use of residential land. It felt surreal. How could they even enforce that? But there they were, with heavy equipment ready to destroy years of work. I tried being reasonable. I emailed the HOA board, attaching copies of zoning laws, my property deed, and the original land survey. Every message was met with silence or snide remarks at their meetings. But I refused to engage in their circus. Instead, I dove into research, learning everything about local ordinances, agricultural exemptions, and property rights. Night after night, I pored over dusty county records and old maps, my wife watching with a mix of worry and admiration as I planned my next move. The turning point came when I uncovered an obscure state statute protecting vineyards and agricultural land from HOA interference in residential zones. I also found the original deed, signed and recorded decades ago, clearly marking my property as exempt from HOA covenants. My neighbors, once indifferent or fearful of the HOA, began to notice my calm resolve and the mounting evidence on my side. But this time, I had the sheriff on my side. When they arrived, I handed the deputy the deed, the zoning laws, and the legal opinion I'd paid a lawyer to draft. He read through the papers quietly, then told the operators to shut down immediately. The HOA president stood there, mouth agape, unable to speak or hide her shock. The deputy made it clear no work could proceed without my explicit permission. The smug confidence they'd carried for so long evaporated in an instant. It was a surgical victory, no yelling, no threats, just cold, undeniable proof. And several members faced legal challenges for their reckless attempts at property seizure. The neighborhood, once tense and divided, began to settle into a wary respect. People stopped whispering about me as the troublemaker and started asking for my advice on their own HOA issues. Sometimes, when I walk those rows at sunset, I think about how much was lost and gained. Either way, I know this quiet peace was hard-earned and fully deserved, and my vineyard. It's not just a patch of grapes anymore. It's a symbol that no amount of bullying can uproot what is rightfully yours.